It's the second round and the UP Season 81 women's volleyball tournament just turned the craziness up a notch. Ateneo has created distance between itself and the number 2 teams in the league with its 7-1 record has pulled 2 games ahead of its nearest competitors. What made the start of the second round into an absolute mess is that 4 teams are all tied at no. 2 seed with University of Santo Tomas, De La Salle, University of the Philippines, and Far Eastern University sporting identical 5-3 records. National University and University of the East are tied at the 6th spot with 2-6 records, while Adamson University is at dead last at 1-7. Now all that is out of the way, here are the players that made the start of the second round a spectacle. 1. Matty Matayag, Ateneo de Manila University, middle blocker. Weeks on list. 2. Last week, N.A. Matty Matayag was a defensive fortress for Ateneo when it went the distance against University of Santo Tomas. The Lady Eagle was an impenetrable wall tallying 11 blocks, the most in the Final Four era, en route to 23 points leading Ateneo to the 1925, 22-25, 27-25, 25-22, 15-11 win over the Golden Tigresses. Matayag broke the record previously set by La Salle's Celen Hernandez in 2008 a decade ago, when she put up 9 denials against Adamson University in 2008. 2. Cherry Rondina, University of Santo Tomas, outside Spiker. Weeks on list. 4. Last week, no. 2. Cherry Rondina has been nothing short of amazing for the Golden Tigresses this week, but their loss to the Lady Eagles relegated her to the no. 2 spot instead. It's long established that Rondina is one of the most potent offensive players of her generation, especially when she bagged the Best Scorer award in Season 80 and she showed her abilities once more in UST's lone game this week. Rondina put up 35 points in UST's 5-set loss to Ateneo, and her offensive exploits tied Alyssa Valdez marked for the most in the UP in the Final Four era. And those 35 points further solidified Rondina's hold of the top spot in the Best Scorers table when she totaled 157.6 weeks into the tournament. 3. Licha Eben, Far Eastern University, opposite hitter. Weeks on list. 2. Last week, N.A. An unfortunate injury was the only thing that stopped Licha Eben when the Lady Tamaros faced the Lady Falcons. Eben was making her case for the Rookie of the Year plum when she punished Adamson with 19 points, but a bad landing forced her to leave the game early after her right knee buckled after she scored her final point. The Lady Tamaros then finished the job for Eben, taking the 5-set win 30-32, 25-20, 23-25, 25-20, 15-13. Here's to hoping Eben goes through a quick recovery. 4. Kat Tolentino, Ateneo de Manila University, outside Spiker. Weeks on list. 4. Last week, N.A. Kat Tolentino was relatively quiet for Ateneo the past week with Ponga Gaston taking a more prominent role as the Lady Eagles' outside hitter. The start of the second round, though, was a different field for Tolentino. Although she played as a secondary for Matayag, Tolentino still finished with 20 points in their game against the Golden Tigresses, and that production pushed her to the 3rd spot of the Best Scorers table with 127 total points. 5. Marianne Mandras, University of the East, outside Spiker. Weeks on list. 1. Last week, N.A. UE recorded just its second win in the tournament at the start of the second round, and the one most responsible for it all was Marianne Mandras. The Lady Warriors' quiet star wasn't that silent on the stat sheets when she tallied 19 points to lead UE past NU 25-16, 25-18, 24-26, 25-16. 6. Alor, University of Santo Tomas, outside Spiker. Weeks on list. 4. Last week, no. 4. Alor may be a second fiddle to Rondina in the UST system, but that status doesn't make her any less of a player. Lore has consistently delivered for the Golden Tigresses in her hot pursuit of the Rookie of the Year plum, and although it came off a loss, her 21-point performance against the Blue Eagles was the 3rd best defensive output this week behind Rondina's 35 and Matayag's 23. And this consistency allowed Lore to hold on to that number 2 spot in the Best Scorers when she tallied a total of 138 points after week 6. 7. Jennifer Nirva, National University, Libero. Weeks on list. 2. Last week, no. 3. Jennifer Nirva's plummet from the 3rd spot to the number 7 can be mainly attributed to NU's loss to UE this week. Although the Lady Bulldogs lost to the Lady Warriors in their lone game this week, Nirva was still a shining star in the middle of that gloomy outcome. Nirva, already seen as one of the best liberos in the tournament, managed to outplay UWI's Kath Arado in their matchup. Arado, the reigning best receiver and best digger, tallied 32 excellent digs and 13 successful receptions, but Nirva won that personal matchup with 30 excellent digs and 28 successful